All right, everyone, how are you doing this awesome afternoon? I am Mustang of BattleCore, and today I have with me Joshua from BattleCore as well. And this is the core news. What we're going to talk about this week is the tournaments from the past week, some information from Bandai, and we're also going to have a special guest who was part of the HGaming Content Creators Tournament last weekend. So stay tuned.
Alright, Digimon fans, welcome back to Core News. So the first thing I want to go over with you is the special campaign offered by Bandai in response to their global sweepstakes. So they're offering a special campaign for new Digimon fans. They're announcing this global sweepstakes, which is going to be available to everyone in the United States, Canada, Europe, Latin America, and Oceania. In order to get into the sweepstakes, you need to register with your regional tournament organizer for a chance to win the Digimon card promotional card set, which is going to be a folder that comes with 6 cards inside of it. Those 6 cards for Digimon are going to be the promo Agumon, the 5 play cost 0 Digi-Evolution card that says on play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. It's going to include the promo Biomon, which has the inheritable skill. When this Digimon deletes one of your opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, trigger, draw 1 card from your deck. It's going to include the Blue Gobblemon, which is a 4-cost hard drop, with the on-play skill to trash the bottom Digi-Evolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon, and also the Blue Gomamon, which has the inheritable skill. Once per turn, during your turn, when you trash a Digi-Evolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon, you gain 1 memory. And then finally, to close out the Digimon portion of the promo cards they're giving out, it's going to be the yellow 4-drop Patamon, which says on play, if you have 1 or fewer security cards, trigger recovery plus 1 card from the top of your deck into your security stack. And then finally, we're going to get to the Gatomon, which is a 4-drop, 2 Digi-Evolution cost champion with the inheritable skill. During your turn, while you have 3 or more security cards, this Digimon gains plus 1000 DP. So again, those are going to be the cards for the Bandai promo that are Digimon related. We have 2 reds, 2 blues, and 2 yellows. In addition to those cards, you're also going to get some Dragon Ball Super cards from the Dragon Ball Super card game. Those 2 cards are going to be Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Son Goku, Soul Striker Reborn. Apologize to all the Dragon Ball fans out there if I ruined your guy's name. This guy has 2 skills. It has the auto skill. When this card attacks, draw 1 card, then switch up to 2 of your mono blue energy to active mode. The second skill is auto. At the end of your turn, choose up to 1 of your blue unison cards and switch it to active mode. This Goku has a power level of 15,000. The second Dragon Ball Super card that you're going to be getting out of this is the Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black Unison of Extermination. This guy also has 15,000 power, just like Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Son Goku. It has the blocker skill. It has the auto skill. When this card is switched to active mode by your leader card skill, add a marker to this card. It also has an active skill during the main phase. Draw 1 card, then choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. And a second active main skill of choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 4 or less and place that card at the bottom of its owner's deck. So these are going to be the 2 Dragon Ball Super cards that you get a chance to get in this campaign. And again, in order to get involved, you are going to need to contact your regional tournament organizer in order to register. I believe there's also a registration link available on the Bandai website. Just going to go over some of the formalities of their event. you can only enter one person at a time. So if you want to enter, once you make that enter, you're stuck at the one entry. We're not making additional email addresses or anything like that. They do only allow one entry per person. For the Digimon portion, the card and the Digimon card game promotion card set will be included in the OP store celebration kit for the stores. So you will have another opportunity to get these cards for the Digimon players. So, again, that being said, that's going to be the information for the special campaign for Digimon and Dragon Ball Super, and there's probably more information to come on that later. So, follow Bandai's page to get additional information as they give it out.
So going into the tournament segment of today's core news, we have BattleCore's Digi Tamer series. The Digimon Tamer series is a tournament event that takes place over a course of several weeks. This past weekend, we had the Tournament of Love. The players that topped this weekend are, for first place, Benjamin Lee, who played Blue Omni. Second place, Chris Sock, who played Blue Green Rookie Rush. In third place, Christopher Langschultz, who played Blue Omni. Josh, you have something you want to say on that one?
Yeah, it's interesting to note that Christopher Langschultz came in third place this week in the Tournament of Love. We do not tell players that they are incapable of repeat entering different events, just that they can't win the prizes, or rather the invitations from the subsequent events. And Christopher Langschultz actually placed first place last week in the Tournament of Friendship.
Well, look at that. Well, congratulations to all the participants this weekend, and thanks everyone again for participating in this week's Digi Tamer series, Tournament of Love. There will be other events every weekend for the next 5 weekends for you to be able to obtain your qualifications to join our finals. So moving on down the line, we have this weekend's Digimon Webcam Halfcase Tournament or PBG Tour that just happened Saturday, February the 13th, and it started at 12 p.m. It had 109 players, if I'm correct, and the Discord judge for that day was J.R. Patter. All right, and I'm going to pass this over to Josh, who's going to give you the top 8 players who topped in the PBG Tour. And he's also going to give a small little part on his experience in the PBG Tour tournament. All right, Josh.
All right, so I actually participated in the PPG Half Case tournament this past weekend. But before we get into that story, let's just go over the players that actually topped in that event. We're not going to be going over the top 16. We're just going to be going over the top 8. And those players are as follows. So for first place, we had Zuhair Zaidi. For second place, we had Tyler Sir. In third place, we had Lloyd Kalupig. In fourth place, Duke Viet Dao. In fifth place, we had John Ramon. In sixth place, we have Josue Perez. In seventh place, we have Christian Obermiller. And in eighth place, we have Eli Hill. To the players that I just read, I apologize if I got any of your names wrong. But congratulations to the 8 of you for making the top 8 in the half case. As far as my run through the half case, unfortunately, I did not make top 16. I went 3, 2, and 1, drawing against purple in the last round due to the timeout clause. So, I thought the PPG tournament this weekend was pretty well run. It was really good. I enjoyed, the players that I played against. Some of them didn't know about BattleCore who opted to join our Discord server in order to try to participate in the Digi Tamer series. So shout out to those players who I played against. All of the matches were really fun, especially the green player who I played in the second round. If you're watching this, your deck was out of this world, and I look forward to seeing more green decks like that one. Um, so, Corey, I know you were kind of in my ear over the course of the weekend, trying to check on me, see how my matches were going. So, again, the PPG tour was good. I've fought a variety of different decks. I did fight majority Omnimon, so I played Omnimon in round one, and I won that game 2-1. It's very common when you see Omnimon decks to have players kind of rush through their evolution lines in order to get to that big boss card. And it's always weird fighting Omnimon, when you play red. I do main red. So this past weekend I played red Gallantmon. I did not play red Omnimon. I played red Gallantmon. And,
Mhm.
we'll just go over a little brief rundown of the matches that I had. And then if you have any questions for me, you can just go ahead and ask me what those are. For round one, I actually fought against Blue Omnimon. It was like really weird, right? I sat down, I'm like, man, I'm gonna bump into all these Omnimons. And of course, like game one, I bumped into the Blue Omnimon player. So at the, you know, there we had a little mishap in the middle of the game where he tried to call me out on a Gaia Force destruction where I went to try to declare Omnimon, and then I asked him to hold on before he could move the card from the table in order to confirm some information on his skill. There was a little bit of confusion there, but outside of that, that round was really good. He did, normal Omnimon things. He built up his lanes. Um, did a good job blowing my stuff up with the Omnimon. But in retaliation for that, I basically just broke his lanes down with the Gallantmon because we know that his ultimates are 6k. So the moment I blow them up, he basically has to start his thing over. So I did win that one 2-1. In round two, I've been playing a lot of really popular decks as my opponents. So for those of you who are aware of this, Max Tapera topped in a recent tournament with a blue-green Rookie Rush deck. And the moment he did this, I've been bumping into like this deck everywhere. So my round two game was actually against Blue Green Rookie Rush. I did beat that player 2-0. Basically, what I usually do against a Rookie Rush deck like that is I'll build my lanes up, try to get the Gallantmon as fast as possible, blow up monsters that haven't attacked yet, and then just target his, rear guards, his, on play Digimon until his board is clear. Unfortunately, the Rookie Rush deck does, do what it does by slamming cards down. So the more you remove his board, the more his hand dwindles. So basically, I just played the long game with him in order to dwindle his forces down, in order to dwindle his hand down. And then once he had 1 to 2 cards in hand, that's when I really started making those more aggressive plays, going into the Omnimons to blow up the extra Mushroomons, going into the Gallantmons to break down the champions because they do Digivolve up into champions to try to get some of their units to survive. So basically, I just took advantage of his board state. Even when I was slamming, Gaia forces on the table to blow up rookies, you would think that would be a bad thing, but if their hand only has like 1 or 2 cards, there's nothing that they can do with all of that memory. Game three, I played this another copy of the Blue Green Rookie Rush deck. That one went to game three. So first game, I basically just did a repeat of the Galamon thing, blew up his trash. All of his rookies were slamming into my security. Some of them slammed into blockers. Eventually, he had 10 cards on drop, and then Galamon works best with 10 cards on drop. So I was able to just use everything that wasn't Galamon to beat up his board and just swing Galamon face 3 times in a row. And that's basically how I secured game one. Game two, I lost because he did rookie rush things. He hit the flower cannon, which basically negated the Omnimon restand, and also the Volk that I had slammed on the board as well. And then, he just slammed his monsters in security, and I ended up losing. Game three, I lost because I drew no rookies and no champions. So I opened up straight ultimates, and the worst thing you want to do against a rookie rush deck is give them a bunch of memory at the start. So the moment I slam down a ultimate, he just fills his board up with 4 2-drop rookies, and now I'm staring down the barrel at the start of the game. So there's not much to say about that. I did lose that round. Round four, we went to game three, and I played again a green deck. So this is the green player that I gave the shout out to at the start of the game. Game one, he just annihilated me. He did what green does best. He digivolved up his lanes. I think at one point he had like 3 Titamons on board and a Hercules Kabuterimon and like a Lilithmon as well. And he just annihilated me. There really wasn't anything I can do. He hard played the Mimi. I slammed into him, Mimi in the security, and then he just speed hatched everything. There really wasn't anything I can do to slow down his momentum. Game two, I opened up really bad. I hard play an ultimate. He does his build up. He manages to get double Titamon on board, and I Omnimon the Titamons. And then the moment the Titamons are gone, he basically lost all momentum. And so that is how I go ahead and get into game three. In game three, I had the lead, but I was playing extremely slowly after the round one loss to the green deck. I decided that I was going to be a little more passive aggressive, do some more calculations, do some more slow playing to try to figure out, what exactly was going on. And then, I go into Omnimon. He kills it with a very interesting combo that I have not seen people running in the green decks. And so he's playing an option card, and I wish I could remember his name, where you activate it, it gives your monster +3. And so his Titlemon with the 15, the Agumon and Source puts it to 16, and he slams over my Omnimon. But at the time that he does this, his board is basically non-existent except for this one creature. So then I realize he's playing slow because he does not have something. And the moment I make this epiphany, I immediately just start slamming Digi Evolutions on the table, and I rush security as fast as possible with my security +1 skills, and I ultimately beat him, before he's able to find the pieces that he's looking for. So the PPG tour this weekend was a 6-round event. In game round 5, I played against Blue Omnimon, and I lost because I drew no ultimates. We did go to game 3. I literally needed a single ultimate to Digivolve on top of the Greymon to kill him, and I didn't get it. And then in game 6 was the game I mentioned at the start with the purple timeout. So that's going to be the rundown of what my event was like as one of the BattleCore members that participated in that event. I thought it was really well handled. I believe that there were some discrepancies with time being called early, and things like that. But outside of that, it was a really fun event. I'm looking forward to participating in other events. I know that some of the BattleCore guys were going to be participating in a tournament this weekend, so feel free to look us up. I might be live streaming it, so check that out. You can watch the stream, see how I do in that event.
So it seemed like you had a lot of fun in the PBG tournament this weekend.
I did. I wish we had more time in between rounds. Digimon, just like other TCGs, is a very mentally taxing game. So there is something to be said for having that pause where you can take a breather.
Yep. Well, guys, keep your eyes open for more tournaments hosted by the PBG tournament. And we will have a link to their Discord and Facebook in the description below.
All right, so now that we're done with the PPG Tour event, again, that was the Digimon Webcam Halfcase tournament. Corey, do you want to talk a little bit about the HGaming event that happened this past weekend as well?
Yes, the HGaming hosted a content creators tournament on February the 6th, and the top 8 content creators represented the USA against Spain's top 8 creators just this past Friday. Congrats to Max Tapera for winning the HGaming USA versus Spain, and Spain's Daniel Escudero for coming in second in the event. In just a moment, we're going to have our special guest, Max Tapera, who was the winner of the event, to come on and tell us a little bit about his experience throughout the 2 weeks that this event took place. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. And we're back to core news. I have with me Max Tapera, who came in first in last weekend's content creators tournament hosted by HGaming. He was playing in the finals against Mr. Daniel Escudero from Spain. Hey Max, how are you doing today?
Good. Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Could you tell us a little bit about your experience of the 2 weeks that you had in the HGaming tournament?
Yeah. I've played in HGaming tournaments before, and he came to us with the idea that he wanted to start doing international tournaments, starting with US versus Spain, and to do so to whittle down the content creators. We had to play in one tournament for the first week to get top 8, and then the top 8 would go on to face Spain's top 8 content creators, and then that's what the Content Creators Cup finale was that I won at weekend.
So how was your match against the first week combatants that you had to go against from the USA to get into your top 8 invitation?
Well, I don't know if you remember this or not, but you tossed me, as that first round. So that was and then to add And I know because we were talking about this after, and I was like, damn, I was just so afraid of getting Omni'd, and just to add insult to injury, you're like, oh, I don't even run Omni in here. So I got tossed round 1 by a pure blue deck, and I was like, wow, okay, I'm sick. Interesting. But you pulled me up though, so it all worked out. It all worked out. Because I think both of the guys that I lost to, you and Tyrese, you guys both got like pretty high up, so you pulled me up. Honestly, the only matches that I actually remember were the ones that I lost. Yeah, I honestly I know that sounds like really messed up, but like I don't remember anything about like my 2 games that I won. Because I think I don't know how to word this. I think like the 2 best players without a doubt that I played were the 2 people that I lost to, which were obviously Corey and Tyrese, and like the fact I wasn't expecting a blue build that actually used Kakaitis Breath, and that caught me off guard and set me back a lot. And then when I played Tyrese, I think without question he's probably the best yellow player that I've actually ever seen. So like he just like kept tempo, cleared board, always had board presence, and it was just I exhausted resources way too quickly, and it was very interesting. But that was a cool tournament. I've never been, I don't want to say excited to lose, but like each time I lost, I was like, damn, that's crazy. And it was actually like cool. It was kind of cool.
All right, so look, I gotta follow that statement up with a question of my own. So you said that Tyrese is probably the best yellow player that you have ever played or seen. Basically, he's pretty high up there. Now,
yes.
I'm pretty sure you played a lot of yellow players. So, we see True Champions YouTube channel, Gyro Sean, I think, dabbled in yellow for a little bit. And, like, definitely this guy is, like, top dog for the yellow players, in your opinion. Okay. Because I don't know who you played against in, like, the computer universe gaming event.
I don't think I saw any of them.
Okay.
I saw, like, I don't see any yellow that tournament.
Speaking of which, you said you got tossed by Corey with the blue, and it plays Kakaitis Breath, and you're going to win a tournament with black, which is the worst deck in the format. But
yeah.
Let me just throw this out there. I got destroyed by black at Computer Universe Gaming, just for the record. So I went undefeated up until round 3. I think I bumped into you, or I bumped into another guy. I lost that game, and then right after that game, I played a black player, and I sat down like, man, black, this is going to be easy. And then,
yeah, that's true.
And then he just tossed me. It was really bad. Yeah, so I know after that event, we get to the, USA versus Spain event. How did you feel about that? Because I didn't get to watch all of your matches. I was too busy trying to watch Corey's matches. I would dip into your round every so often. I would dip into Tom's round every so often. How was the actual, international event?
Honestly, I thought it was going to be a lot with them, like, I don't know. I thought it was going to be a lot more impactful than it was, or like I thought it would be like a lot more strange. But it was honestly just like playing any other webcam tournament. The only time that there was like ever language barrier, and it was every single, I think, player from Spain that I played against. It was very hard for them to portray how they wanted the deck cut in English. So like that was the only like issue. Everything else was like totally fine.
Okay.
But it was really fun. Met some cool guys. It was dope because the guy who I beat in finals like shouted me out on Twitter, and then like instantly I got like 3 more followers on Twitch, a bunch of subs on YouTube, and I was like, oh, that's sweet.
Look, and then you played. All right, so like I said, I was at work. I didn't really get to watch the whole event the way I wanted to. You played the red Omni player.
Yes.
So I heard you talking to him at the end, and you gave him the shout out for being the red player. But like I watched his games, he is so methodical in how he plays that deck. I mean, every decision was like calculated, and then if you thought calculations could end, he added more calculations. Like everything just seemed so purposeful with the decisions that he made.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's why I only saw one of his games before we played, and it was the Final Four match with Nitro. And it was just because Nitro's blue-yellow is pretty good. Like, it's a really good build. And it looked like the red dude, like, Daniel was just in control the entire time. And it was literally, like, to the point where it was like, okay, dude, like, just end this. Like, you're just, like, dragging him along at this point. Like, just finish the game. But, so I knew exactly what you mean.
So I didn't get to see that entire game, I think, because like I said, I was working the whole time. So I'm like, how can I watch this tournament and also work at the same time? And I saw, like, the last thing I saw was I guess not Daniel, but the blue yellow player, like Digivolves into like a Leomon or summons a Leomon. The Leomon's on the board, and then like I turn my back, and then I turn back around, and the game's over. And I have absolutely
Yeah.
like that whole segment is just a blank for me.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know what happened, and you can kind of you can fill the blank in for me, but like I have no clue what happened. Like there was a Leomon, and then the game was over.
I think my understanding was, I think he swung with Leomon. I don't remember exactly, but it was either. I think he. Yeah, I have no idea. Honestly,
Okay, it's
for
fair.
some reason, I have a feeling that like it lived, and then his opponent, like he just like played something like expensive, and then his opponent was able to just go up into Omni. But I'm totally not sure. But I know the VOD for the that because they were one of the feature matches, and I know the VOD is still up on Twitch. So like, you'd have to check it out.
I didn't know that, so I'm gonna have to go look that up
Yeah.
so I can watch that round because that blue yellow deck was really interesting.
His build's nice. His build runs, just because I've practiced with Nitro a lot. His build runs Chimeramon and Lilithmon in it, and it's disgusting because, and it's happened against me, where he'll let Chimeramon evolve into Lilithmon, and then he plays Hammer Spark and gains 3 memory because of Lilithmon, and it is like absolutely like busted. It is so crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go watch. I'm gonna have to go watch that game. Like I've never seen a build like that, so I was just completely caught unawares. Like when he sat down, I was like, wow, like this made it to like I believe top 4. Like what is this deck?
Top 4.
And then like as I was watching it, I'm like, okay, he's clearly, I apologize, Nitro, but I don't know who you are. This is my first time seeing a deck. I literally saw that and was like, this guy's getting tossed. And the next thing I knew, he was in complete control of the match at the start, and I'm like, how is this deck like destroying Omnimon?
It's good. It's really good.
Yeah, shout out to you, Nitro. That deck was very interesting to see. I really enjoyed seeing a different take on a blue deck that was not just, okay, when you play blue, you have to play the Omnimon core. So shout outs to you. That was a very, very nice build from what I did manage to catch your game.
Oh, Max, I'm not sure we touched on this, but you played a Rookie Rush deck in this tournament, and I think you mentioned on
You made that Facebook post
on your video that you didn't even like playing it to begin with. So what made you want to play the deck in the tournament?
So legitimately, my train of thought was, I don't know how good these players are going to be from Spain. I don't know what kind of like tech or what kind of meta they use. And also I know how good the other players like that were representing the US were, and I haven't done so hot at I think the last 2 HGaming events. So I'm like, okay, let me play a deck that's legitimately just autopilot and just like steals games and legitimately is like, if you're lucky, you win. That's it. And like that's it. Honestly, there's like little to no skill for Rookie Rush. Like, at all.
He acknowledged it. He said, I played it because it wins and it's autopilot.
Exactly, that's it. Like anybody could have won that event if they picked up Rookie Rush. Absolutely anybody could have. And what the reason why I don't like playing it, like without question, hate playing against it. Absolute nightmare. Hate playing against it. But the worst part about playing the deck is I'll sit there and watch my opponent make like amazing plays and like very clearly well calculated, well thought out plays. And then I'm just like, rookies, let's go. And then I win. And it's like it's just, and you can see the frustration. And that's part of the reason why I don't like it is the reason why Digimon's so fun is, for me personally, I came from Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it's basically like a die roll format. You win the dice roll and you win. In Digimon, it's so much back and forth and interaction with your opponent that it's literally like whoever has like makes the better decision will end up winning. Rookie Rush just takes all that away. Like, it's legitimately my opponent either opens the nuts and can stop me, or they can't.
Right.
And so, like, and you can, like, even through webcam, I could feel the frustration of my opponent. Like, man, this shit sucks. And I'm just like, yeah, this is so fun.
I actually played against 2 of that exact deck in the PBG tour, and I had absolutely no fun whatsoever.
It's not a fun deck.
So now this is the part where I gotta be the guy and say I played 2 copies of that deck too, And I'm
Yeah.
50.
Was
I'm 50.
was this the Halfcase tournament that you guys were
Yes, the
talking about?
Halfcase tournament. Yup.
Yeah, I heard that there was a ton of rookie marks on that
Tons,
tournament.
tons. They were everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So I'm
I asked my
50-50 against that deck right now in the PPG tour.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I asked one of my opponents. I was like, "Oh, so you enjoying the deck?" He was like, "Not one bit,
Yeah,
but it wins." And
exactly.
I was
That's
like,
exactly. You play the deck to win. You don't play the deck to enjoy the game.
"Well, thank you so much, Max, for being a part of our core news today. It was a pleasure to have you."
Of course, I appreciate it.
That is it for us today, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. We will see you next week, and we're going to give the floor over to Josh, who's going to end our talk for today.
So Max, this is actually going to be some interesting news for you. If you haven't done it already, this will be absolutely great for you. Um, so BattleCore has officially gotten all of the product that we need to fund our scene. So
Nice.
everyone has
Okay.
their trial decks, everyone has their booster sets. We're pretty set up until 1.5. That being said, we have extra red trial decks.
Okay.
Yes, so they do not have the boosters in them, but we have red completed trial decks. We have about 7 to 8 of them still just sitting around. And so we are going to raffle those trial decks away to our YouTube subscribers.
Okay.
So this way, people who were not able to get product, who don't have the money, maybe because of the virus, or just wasn't able to get it because of the way COVID is treating the Digimon scene, this is your opportunity to try to get your hands on some Digimon product. And the only thing that you have to do, and Max, share this with your channel, get those guys over here, because I know I watched your channel during one of the events, and some of the guys weren't able to get product. And even though it's just a trial deck, it is still something. And the only thing anyone has to do in order to be entered into the raffle to get this product is like our YouTube page, or rather like the video, subscribe to the YouTube page, and comment below this core news segment with your favorite Digimon. And that's it. And then what we're going to do after a certain amount of time has passed, we are going to check our subscribers, match them up with the comments, and we will be randomly selecting subscribers up until we're out of products.
Okay, I
and
got
so
you.
once we choose all the people, we'll either message you inbox on YouTube or comment under your comment. We'll find a way to get in contact with you to get your information so that we can mail this stuff out. So again, if you were not able to get product, this is the perfect chance to do so. Comment, like, subscribe, be entered in this raffle, get yourself some Digimon product, and if you weren't able to play in 1.0, at least you'll be well on your way to playing in 1.5.
Sir.
All right.
I'll make sure. Yeah, I'll make sure to spread the word. I got you. I'll put it out next time I go live on Twitch.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming. Max, thank you for being part of the show. Thank you for piloting the worst deck next to Black in Digimon right now. But congrats to you. I wanted to make this comment definitely before I let you go. I really enjoyed how you presented your deck on Facebook with the quote that you either right. You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
Yes, sir.
So I really appreciated
That's exactly
that.
what it is. Yeah, okay.
So that being said, I'm gonna let everyone go. Thank you so much for watching Core News. We'll be doing more of these in the future. Max, thanks for being part of the show. And we will see you guys later. So this is Joshua of BattleCore, Corey of BattleCore, and our special guest Max Tapera signing out.